Good morning, everybody, and I hope you're doing well. This is the Astral Beacon for Friday, October 2nd. And let's go ahead and get started for the day. And, one of the big things we're doing today is the Psychic Fair. And as we continue that process of the Halloween Psychic Fair, I think that is amazing, has been amazing so far. It is been always bugs in the beginning and things of that nature. So we're getting it all worked out. But there, you can still get your tickets. You can. There's so much to do tonight. Dragon to Row by Nikki Kirby is going to happen there, and the first episode of Lord's Dawn Cult Horror Movies is going to occur onto the broadcast. There will be other statements and things happening all day. Watch our pages, HalloweenPsychicFair.com. We can also look at Witch School. We can look at other pages that are in our ecosystem and our Twitch account, the Witch School. And we're going to be continuing our information out there into the world. And the big thing that people want to ask, so if you want to be a guest on our show, you want to talk about dreams, you want to talk about anything, we're going to start interviewing people who want to be here in the mornings. Just contact me. That's right. Because some of the groups have restrictions, I can't ask for a direct in. But I discovered that some of the groups aren't going to rebroadcast because of that. A lot of people have their rules, and that's okay. That's how things work, and I'm pretty pleased with that. So we're still expanding our reach and our output. And so let me go ahead and talk a little bit about the one thing about it, people are having dreams about, and that is the dreams of the dead. It's going to be very common this year, I think, for the dreams of the dead. It always is a big thing around Samhain. Let's be honest. Around Samhain, we always have to worry about the dreams of the dead. And so we deal with it. And and what do I mean by that? Let's be very specific. I mean, we dream of people who have died in our lives, sometimes recently, sometimes very long in the past. We dream of a lot of dead people around a lot of times. So when you dream of the past, and people often call these visitations, they feel a lot of psychics and people believe these are visitations of the dead to you to try to give you a message. And so this is not only common amongst people, but people don't want to talk about it so much because we do have this innate fear of death. This place where death takes us out of this world, and we have a hard time imagining a world without us. Simple enough, we want to make sure that we're a legacy, that we are doing it. And in fact, we go so far in the pagan faith is to say that that which you remembered lives. So this idea of being remembered, and dreams are one of those places where we see the dead rise. So what do you do if you see the dead in there? Give them a moment's thought. See if you can remember the message. Remember your notebook or your recorder next to your bed, and see if they can record the message that they told you. If you can try it, and if you feel that they're, talk to them if it is possible in that dream. And if it's not, talk to them personally in the physical, in the sort of daytime world that you're in. And when you're out there in the conscious world, you can talk to them. You can say things to them. You can talk to the dead. And it'll feel very much like a one sided conversation, but you'll hear voices that'll come back to you through your mind and allow you to hear things. And it may not be right away, but it can do over time. So you get visited by the dead. You try to first calm down, listen to the message. Once you listen to the message, you can try to talk to them. If the message is neither clear nor can you talk to them, when you are conscious, try to speak to them again, in front of a picture or something that you have, a token or something of that nature, if that's helpful, and talk to them. And just listen to your inner self to hear the message. Now, if you see something like the Grim Reaper, which is another different story, that's a fear mechanism that we've now, as culturally existent, it's called a cultural um, image, meaning that we've created a sort of image of the cloaked figure with a big scythe. This is something that we don't have traditionally seen as death. That's seen in many different ways, but that's one of those cultural icons. And it's trying to warn you. That's another warning. That's a definite warning. If it is blocking your path and saying that you're going in the wrong direction or you're heading into disaster, um, if you're doing behaviors that are wrong, it'll get into your way. Another one could be a warning that don't get into a car. It could be all sorts of these warnings, or it could be a warning that someone's going to pass ahead of you. It's just your mind taking a cultural icon and warning you that death is somewhere in your vicinity. and that you need to be a little bit more careful. I've had such a dream. Surprisingly, I have had a dream like that, and it had to do a lot with my depression. I was heading into a very dark place with my depression, and I was just like getting so angry and so upset, and I just couldn't handle it. And then, COVID does that to people very early on. I was really thrown off my game, and in my dream, death as this sort of grim reaper figure appeared and basically said, "Stop that path." That was heading in the wrong direction, and then the way it did it in the dream is it basically I saw myself walking, and I was walking away from everybody. I kept walking more and more away from the crowd of people, and I recognized a lot of the faces in there. And I saw a crowd of people, and and I kept walking away. And finally, the Grim Reaper appeared to me. Not my ancestors, not my, the dead, not anyone I recognized, but the Grim Reaper figure appeared before me and stopped me from going forward, and warned me there if I kept going in that direction, death was the only thing that was there. And so that was that depression warning. So that's how death kind of figures into it. So this year, so one of the things you can do, and we're going to do a great morning ritual on October 31st, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it'll go out throughout the day on Halloween Day, Samhain Day, one of the days that we talk about treating a Samhain, and that'll be conducted by Reverend Don Lewis, the Chancellor of the First Corellian Tradition. A lot of the Corellian leadership is getting together to put that together, and finally, there'll be a chance to let us mourn, let us mourn, let us mourn. And that is really a crucial element to what we're doing. So, okay, so we've talked about that. So I want you guys to think about who do we get on the show. Well, I want to talk more about dreams. All right, and there was one last question I was asked. It says, has anyone heard of Starseed and Galactic Federation and all of these sort of alternative thinkers who say that we're about to go through December 21st, 2020, the Great Flash, that we are uploading and changing our DNA? There's a very strong belief amongst a portion of our population that we are induated with souls that come from another planet. I would like to talk about that. So if you're a Starseed, Galactic Federation channeler, any of that type of nature, I want to get you on Astral Beacon and talk about it. And so last night's Astral Beacon moment, and I've only had one person tell me about it, but they think they saw it, and they said, could it look like a will-o'-the-wisp? They felt like they had dreamt. They did a little bit of practices, and thank you. And they basically said that, and I appreciate it. And I want to get some of these people on so they can do it. I've not mentioned names of it. This is R. I could be saying Mr. R. And he told me that it was basically in a grassy field, and he had visioned it. He took on some of the dreams, and he was looking for the beacon. And what he saw was a will-o'-the-wisp. And he saw the will-o'-the-wisp, and he followed that for a little while. He doesn't remember much more of the dream, but he followed the will-o'-the-wisp for a while. And could that be part of the astral beacon? It certainly could be. That is a manifestation of the ability to attract things. Some people, the will-o'-the-wisps are dangerous out in the nature, and they could be either, they're often talked about being methane or glowing gas bubbles that are produced by swamps and things like that. Others believe that they'll be a form of fairy, which is most common. And if you're not careful, they can lure you to, again, our topic today, to death. But also, they can also lead, and have been known to their stories about them leading them to help people. So the will-o'-the-wisp is one manifestation of a potential manifestation of astral projection. To see an astral projected dream, and to see it, go looking for it. So we'll see. So today, remember, we're going to have readings available all day. PsychicServices.org is really HowlinPsychicAffairs.com, but PsychicServices.org is the underlying organization, the site that we're building to develop it. We're so excited about it. You can buy readings today. You can buy readings for up anytime this month. We have a lot of people out there. We have 31 readers available to you as we get them across. And as we develop it, and today will be much more development. And tonight, Nikki Kirby is going to be doing at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They're going to be doing she's going to be doing Dragon Tarot. And at, I think it's 9 p.m., we're going to be doing and broadcasting across the internet Lord Don's occult horror movie. And tonight it's going to be White Zombie with his commentary. So I'm so looking forward to that. And you can just contact me through any number of the means that you want to. I really want to hear from you, and I want to hear about your dreams. Yes, I do. And yes, cats are fun. Blessed be.